All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the December 2022 Board of Condemnation and Blight meeting. The time right now is 2:03 p.m. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. In attendance, myself, Phil Higgins.
Saints Cleary.
Pat Mahoney.
Is there anyone on the line? Anyone else in attendance, please?
Yes, Marissa Pula.
In regards to?
I'm a neighbor across the street from the property.
Okay.
Which property?
I'm sorry. I didn't know if there were multiple properties being discussed. 280 Tuckahoe Lane.
280 Tuckahoe.
Okay.
And Marissa, what was your last name again?
Pula, P-U-L-L-A.
P-U-L-L-A. All right,
yes,
280 Tuckahoe. And anyone else on the call?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guess who I am?
Mr. Miller.
Yes, sir.
All right.
There you go. Greg Miller.
How are you?
Okay.
Good, how are you?
Anyone else?
Anyone else on the call? Anyone else in the meeting? All right, seeing no one here in attendance, do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to waive the regular order of business to address the properties with those in attendance or on the phone.
A second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, why don't we start with number 280 Tuckahoe Lane?
Sure. Just to give an update, Ms. Pula, 280 Tuckahoe Lane is already being cited for blight, and so the owner is incurring a $100 a day fine for every day that the work isn't done. And that started back in November of 2019. So he's incurred fines. So we are working with him with this property and another one that he owns to attempt to. He's agreed to provide us access to have some type of structural engineer assess the structural integrity of the property. So we are working with him trying to arrange that date, but he is, as of late, not returning calls. So that's where we are. We're going to have to send a letter to make it more official, but that's where we are with 280 Tuckahoe.
Okay, I guess my concern was just that I have very minimal experience, but some experience dealing with blights and structural issues. Just I'm an attorney that's worked very briefly with the town of Fairfield on those issues, and just since it's been so long, this property's been cited, and there's been I know that there was a lien on the property at some point that I don't know if it's been lifted yet. I guess, like you said, since he hasn't been answering calls, how much longer is it going to go on before it's just determined? I mean, I know that there has to be a structural engineer to come examine it, but I mean, there's now a humongous hole in the roof that I've seen squirrels and I think a raccoon once climb into. And at this point, it's more than a blight; it's a safety hazard. I mean, I just moved in a year ago 6 months ago across the street, but I've lived down the road my entire life on Pemberton, and for 28 years it's been abandoned. And I know that there's been multiple times, including 2 months ago, when the police were called for kids drinking and basically, trespassing on the property. My concern is with all the break-ins that have been happening, no one knows what goes on at that property, and there's no electricity, no running water. So I guess my question is just the timeline. Like you said, he's been incurring fines since November of 2018, I think you said, or 19, and I just don't know when is too long. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, I mean, the blight ordinance only gives us the authority to fine, and so we don't. Right. That's the extent of our authority in terms of blight. We can fine them. We can, if the property was, and that's why we're trying to work with him to make an assessment. If the property had any issues, and we are almost there now with this hole in the roof, is that the town and take steps to make repairs to a private property to abate, a situation. And so that's where we're assessing right now and trying to work with him. But if he doesn't, if he doesn't let us on the properties and to have somebody inside to look at these things, we will essentially work with the town attorney to to take action to enable us to make the necessary repairs to stabilize the structure. My current understanding, though, from checking the doors, is that the property is secure. And I have not heard reports of people going in and out of it. And you can please correct me if I'm incorrect on that, but I haven't been advised of that the property is unsecured in terms of allowing people access to the interior.
Well, like I said, at least 2 months ago, there were kids. I'm not sure whether they entered the property, but police were called, and they were at the property drinking, minors. So I don't know if they actually physically entered the property, but they were on the property. And I understand what you're saying about the blight ordinance, but I believe under the town ordinance and the Connecticut general statutes, if there's a structural issue and that causes a safety issue, which I believe that at this point, because there is no electricity, there's no running water, and there's no smoke detectors or anything, I believe that it does allow the town a little bit more of an opportunity to take action rather than under the blight ordinance, because it goes beyond the blight ordinance at this point.
Yeah, no, and that's what we recognize that now with this hole in the roof, that that enables us to take action under a different local ordinance of unfit structures, and so we're trying to work with the owner to take care of the issue, and he indicated last I spoke with him within the last month or so, he indicated his willingness to let us in and for the town to make necessary repairs. But as of late, he has not been returning calls. So we will ramp up the pressure trying to get him to respond to us. But again, for us to, as I'm sure you're well aware, for us to go onto a property and make repairs, without the permission of the owner, we have to make sure we run that by the town attorney and get all the appropriate permissions.
Of course. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm hopeful. And obviously, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. I know that there's many limitations, especially when it comes to essentially seizing a property, which it sounds like may very well be the next step. But I appreciate it just because it is more than an eyesore at this point. But that sounds good. And has he paid any of the fines? I assume not.
No. It's there's a lien on the property, and that typically those fines are collected when there's a transfer of the property. And he's indicated several months back that he had or that he was considering a contract to sell multiple properties as a group sale that he owned, but we haven't heard anything of that from him lately.
Yeah, my understanding is actually the realtor that sold our house to us said that there were offers to buy that one and he declined them. But all right, well, hopefully it gets handled soon, and then maybe the town attorney will have next steps in the few next coming weeks, hopefully.
Yep, I think by the next meeting in January we should have some more decisive actions available to us.
Okay, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you. Anything else in regards to 280 Tuckahoe? If not,
I think
we'll go on to number 5, 20 Morehouse Highway.
And 6.
Yes.
Yep. So, my understanding, I haven't been contacted. I was out there maybe a week ago, and there was still work to be done on the porch and debris in the side yard that was exceeding the allowable amounts. And then with 83 Morehouse.
Number 20. We'll just finish that off.
All right.
We there today as well. No change from what you explained. We'll leave him on, and he continues to be
fine.
All right. Thank you. Number 6, 83 Morehouse.
I've tried to call the owner to make contact with them because in the past they had been willing to make repairs. I have not received a call back from them, so we have sent the owner a letter for a hearing. That hearing will happen next month.
Okay. I was also there today. I did see, in fact, the holes in the garage, and through new evidence, I believe we received a picture with some wildlife on top of the garage. So, I thank them. Okay. So we have a scheduled hearing or we should have a scheduled hearing for next month?
We do, yeah.
All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
It's Greg Miller.
Hello, sir.
Regarding 83 Morehouse Highway, in the minutes, from last month, you stated there would be a hearing today.
Yeah, my apologies, Mr. Miller. We missed we have to send out letters 10 days ahead of the meeting, and we missed that window to properly notice the owner. And so we have sent the notice of the hearing out to them. But unfortunately, it will be only in time for next month's meeting.
Okay, but last time you said you were sending an email to them and they wouldn't respond. So what if they don't respond to emails?
Well, so we're not emailing the notice, so we're going to send that certified mail, and so that counts as, if we send that to the last known address, the address that's listed with the assessor's office and the tax office, that counts as service. So we've served them with notice, and then starts the process of next month's hearing. If they don't respond to it, we would simply have the hearing with them absent. It meets the criteria for blight, so we would likely vote it to be a blighted property. We would send them a notice of determination that would have a 30-day compliance period. And at that point, if there is no response for them in terms of any indication or any efforts to make any kind of repairs, we would likely go to a citation that would bring on the $100 a day fine.
Okay, and thank you for your answer to that. But if you're sending things to her house, she doesn't live there, so.
Our obligation, and again, our requirement, is that we send any notifications to the address she has listed with the town for receiving notifications. So if her tax bills are going to that, we send it to the same address that her tax bills are going to, and if her tax bills are being received and paid, we know that she's receiving mail at that address, and she's responding to it. And so, but our obligation is to send it to that address, and then to the address she has listed with the town.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Moving on. Do I have a motion? Do I need a motion?
Nope. No. Just resume back to the normal order.
To the regular election of officers for 2023.
All right. I will make a motion that we propose the same slate as we currently have, if people are willing.
Second. All right. Pat seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, all of us.
Mr. Chairman.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice and Secretary. All right, so approval of proposed 2023 meeting schedule. My question will be to all of us, does this have to be put on, could we delay this, or can we make a motion to push this off 1 month? Only for the purposes of
1 week.
There might be 1 week.
You said 1 week.
Well, to push the vote on the hearing.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to table the vote on the meeting calendar, with the exception of that we'll meet January 23rd, 2023.
Okay. Absolutely.
Sure.
That works
and
for
then
me.
we'll table the vote on
Figure
that.
out what works, because I know you guys got off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there could be
I'm
conflict.
pretty much flexible, so.
Yeah. I mean, I would either prefer bumping it a week later rather than bumping it to a week earlier, just because.
Do we need a second on the motion and then discussion?
Oh,
I mean.
I'll make a second.
Okay. Any discussion?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree if that.
Okay.
We could do that. So our next regular meeting will be January 23rd. Okay. So suspending that.
So we have to vote on
All
the
in favor?
table.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, any new communications?
I have none, other than what's on the agenda.
Okay, so moving on to condemnation, old business, we already, actually, we did not discuss 92 Grassmere Avenue, we went to 280 Tuckahoe, but 92 Grassmere stopped by today. Again, really nothing has changed other than what appears to be that hole in the roof.
Yep.
It continues to expand, and I would strongly suggest we get someone in there quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already made it well aware to firefighters a while back that it's going to be a defensive operation, but it concerns me that the back wall's wide open, the staircase is, extremely weakened. So
Yep.
I don't know what else we can do, if we have to go to the town attorney or if that's already underway, but,
I mean, the key thing is to meet with the owner and try to get him to comply with our request to let us in and have a structural engineer assess the property. In absence of that, we would have to have a hearing for it, and we can suggest that next month we have a hearing for both of these properties to put it on unfit structures and, make a motion, and that has more authority to enable us to take some action. We'd still need to consult with the town attorney to,
I think we need
gain
to move,
access.
because it's like we're not getting anywhere with them. They keep promising us that they're gonna let us in. I think we need to take action and kind of take the next step.
Okay. Well, let's have a, unfit structure hearing then next month and see if we can get Ray to come in and respond. The fining is still going on for exactly that issue, but the unfit structures gives us a little bit more authority.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Number 7, any new business in regards to?
Well, do we want to go back to 1? Oh, 7. Okay.
Number 7, yeah.
Yep.
Any new?
Nope.
I haven't seen anything. Going to number 8, blight ordinance number 15, Beacon View Drive. I saw and met with the owner today. There were 2 workers on site doing construction on the first floor rear. The comment or statement that was made is that they're hoping to have a roof on in place in the back before obviously winter and snow and freezing conditions. So I do see forward movement.
Yep.
So I would make the recommendation that we just leave it on for now, like we have in the past.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Number 2, 130 Birchwood Drive. Again, inspecting it, I saw 2 open, two locations that were wide open to the public, which I didn't like.
They're unsecured, you mean?
Yeah,
right? I mean, they're closed,
Yes.
but they're not locked in
Correct.
anyway. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Unsecured. One location being the pool in the back. So actually, there was 3 unsecured locations. So I don't know where we are with this.
So I had reached out via email to the lawyer who's in charge of the property. I have not had a response back from that individual. I would think that if they're not willing to comply with our requests, I mean, we've sent them a letter, we've had a hearing, we've declared it blighted because of the access issue. They're not responding to us, so I would say I would make a motion, we move it to citation.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So moving forward with that. Number 92, we've just discussed. Number 168 Hillcrest Road.
There is a building application
Okay.
pretty sure it's 168, the girls are working on that. So
Okay.
I think there is one in progress, not approved, but in review.
Okay.
And there were people out at the property today. There's a large
Yeah.
excavator out there and a dumpster and
Mhm.
people walking around. So it looks like there's activity
I believe
there.
that they're in review.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not approved, but
Leave it on, or is this something that we take off based upon the work that's currently being done?
I think we can leave it on for a month.
Until they get a building permit?
See
Okay.
how they proceed. Maybe things don't go well with the building permit. Let's just
Okay.
see,
Okay.
and it doesn't hurt to just table it.
All right.
And are they aware that it's a blight complaint has been made, do you
I don't
know?
know, but I will follow up.
Okay.
All right. Number 20 Morehouse and 83 Morehouse, we just discussed. Number 750 Post Road.
Permits are in place. They
Yeah.
put the fence around, but I haven't seen progress.
I haven't seen work, so, I would leave that on.
And Pat, do you have a relationship with the operator, the owner of that property or the?
750, the architect,
permittee?
and I am gonna follow up on that. I'm gonna make some calls with that. I do have the contractor for 168. I will reach out to him. I just got back from so I will follow up with 750 and,
Yeah, I think we both can follow up with 750 post.
yeah.
Okay.
Because they pulled permits for interior and exterior, and it's just been kind of lagging, so
Yeah.
I'll put a little bug in their ear.
Okay.
And I'll go on record too, that says, the address isn't 750 Post Road, but it was a portion of that sale, the neighboring structure, which is the old, I believe, colonial. Barbershop.
Okay.
I'd like to reach out to them in regards to that location as well.
So there's 2 properties there.
Yeah. So number 8, 1001 South Pine Creek Road.
That I have a demo permit waiting on. I did speak to the owners. They were cleaning it up. The demo permit is should be in the next week. They should have their full permit and take it down.
Okay, so we'll leave it until next month?
Yes.
Okay, 280 Tuckahoe, already discussed. Number 10, 146 Wheeler Park. Again, drove by there today, no change.
Yeah, and so this is one where,
Hey, no response at all.
I think, as we've talked about before, is getting the permission to just put a padlock on the garage door, and that'll secure the property, and then refer the car to zoning. And then, I think that's the only way, those are the 2 issues, the car zoning issue, and, but they're not replying, they're not paying their taxes.
Right.
The address that we have for them, down south is the correct address. So, I think that's the next step, is just padlock the door, refer the car to zoning.
So do we have that authority to go do that ourselves? How does that work? Who does that?
It's a little sketchy in terms of, that's why I'd want to get the protection of the town attorney before we did something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I don't know that we just go up with our cordless and screw a hasp on there, and then what's our obligation, our liability?
That's exactly
Let's get the town
attorney. That's what I'd like somebody to say, it's okay for you to
Yes.
give me permission, and we can do it, but.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, no other old business before us. Number 9, blight ordinance, new business and complaints. We have 1 for 733 Post Road, which, I don't believe would technically be the property of 733 Post Road. It looks to me like it might be a neighboring property.
Yeah. It looks like it's 601 here, although some of it may be on this property. And, there's some here, there's some couches here, so I'm pointing to a map of the property. But back off the parking lot there's a couple couches there. Yes. There's a couple tires stacked up here. Yeah. This trailer, when I pulled in, it actually looks like it's on the pavement. So it may, I don't know if that's.
Electric supply, maybe that's where they store their.
I think it is. There's a set of stairs there.
Yeah, that's probably where they store their excess.
But I think,
Tires, the couches.
I think we have to look at, just sending this 601 property owner a notice of hearing, because I think, there are couches and debris and things like that.
691.
691, that appear to be associated with that parcel rather than 733.
Okay.
Because 733 property line just follows basically the back side of the building right here.
Right. It looked, for me, 733 looks clean.
Yeah.
It was everything behind it. So,
Yep.
Shall we send a letter to the owners at 691?
Yeah, we should have a hearing
Okay.
for 691.
All right.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask,
okay.
I know you and I spoke, that 64 Mary, and I went out, got a complaint the other day about that wall that fell down. I don't know if this is the right place.
Yeah.
It is on the adjoining property, fell down on it is retaining the runoff, the soil, everything. So, but I guess the owner passed away from what I understand, and there's somebody living there, so I don't know what the next steps are. instructed him, I went and took pictures, I said, I'll follow up.
Yeah. So, I mean, there would be somebody, either an executor,
Right.
or something like that, who would be in charge of managing the property and dealing with responding to. So we would send the notice to whoever the
Okay.
owner of record is on the land records
All right.
currently. And if it is an executor or something like that, you know, we can
So maybe we
ask
can,
probate
send
if there's
something,
anything
'cause
going
I
on.
guess they've been really, nobody will respond. It is an eyesore, it's a lot of concrete that fell over. And they have children, you know, it's one of those, if I was the
Now,
neighbor.
did it fall onto a neighbor's property?
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying?
like, it's in my iPad, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, fell into half on his lawn and half on the other, it's just a big eyesore. The whole wall came down in parts.
Yeah, okay.
And, those were the pictures that I showed.
Yeah, I
you
saw the
guys.
pictures and I
So
saw that.
kind of-
I just didn't see, I just thought that was
Yeah.
somebody's, it happened within somebody's backyard.
Yeah, it's the two houses are here, the backyard's right here, so part of it's on this guy's yard, part of it's on their yard, and, you know, the owner just kinda
So whatever's on
there.
their yard, they would be responsible for then.
Okay, so the
You know, whatever,
neighbor's responsible for what's on their yard? Is that how?
you know, if the material was entirely on so if the wall is on one property, we would cite that owner.
Okay,
If the wall was started on that person's property and then fell onto
Yeah.
the neighbor's property, it really would be the responsibility of that,
neighbor.
the original owner of that wall, whoever owned the wall.
Right.
If it became defective and fell onto a
Yeah,
neighbor's
that's what
property.
they're saying, that the owner of the dilapidated property or whatever is
Yeah.
not responding, is not doing anything, and it's a big, probably 20-foot section of wall that fell down.
Yeah, but if the wall was originally on the neighbor's property, not the dilapidated
No, it's
property.
on the dilapidated one.
If it was originally on there and
Yeah.
fell, even though it may have been part of something the other
No,
owner
it's
built?
the abandoned
It fell
it's
on-
their property.
Fell
Okay.
onto an occupied
Yeah, it fell
property.
onto an occupied property,
Yeah.
and they did say somebody's staying there at night, but doesn't come around, just goes there at night,
Yeah.
sometimes and sleeps, and
Mm.
Okay.
so maybe
I think we would
can
send
a letter.
You know, I think, you know, from the pictures you showed, the discussion we
Yeah.
had, it meets the criteria for blight.
Good, okay.
Or unfit structures, either one. You know, and then I think we could cite it for blight, being a defective wall.
Okay.
I just told him I'd bring it up at the meeting and we would follow up, so that's good.
All right. Any other business before us today?
I have none?
Pat, anything?
No.
All right, hearing none. It is now 2:31 PM, and I'll call this meeting being adjourned.
Okay.